Chosen one, listen closely. For the very fact that these words have reached you means that you stood firm in the fire of trial. The recent eclipse and the opening of the 999 portal were not random events marked on a calendar, but sacred alignments, moments carved into time by the hand of the divine. They were gates that separated the many from the few, tests that whispered into the depths of the soul. Are you prepared to release what was never truly yours? Are you ready to step into who you were created to be? And while countless souls hesitated, clung to fear, or tried to drag the weight of the past into the new dawn, you did not. You endured. The days surrounding this celestial alignment were not gentle. They pressed upon you like waves, forcing you to face the shadows you thought you had already conquered. Fatigue settled into your bones. Emotions surfaced without explanation. And for many, relationships cracked under the strain of hidden truths. These were not punishments, but initiations. The universe asking, will you hold on to illusions, or will you surrender them to be reborn? For you, the answer was written in your persistence. You felt the shaking, the chaos, the heaviness, yet you chose not to run. Passing this test was not about being flawless. It was not about never questioning, never doubting, or never breaking down. No, the test was in your choice to keep moving even when the ground trembled beneath you. The divine does not measure worth by perfection, but by endurance, by the soul's ability to keep rising when everything else crumbles. And so, chosen one, this trial has marked you. The eclipse lit the sky, but more importantly, it illuminated your spirit. The portal was not simply a date in time. It was the closing of an ancient cycle and the birth of something new. You passed through it, carrying scars that prove your strength and faith, that whisper of your readiness. Know this: not everyone could withstand the storm, but you, beloved, have shown the heavens that you are ready to step into a chapter written only for those who dare to let go. The test of the universe is over, and you emerged not as you once were, but as who you were always meant to be. And so, chosen one, having endured the eclipse and walked through the 999 portal, you now stand in the stillness after the storm. This is where the subtle signs begin to speak. At first, it may feel as though little has changed, as if the world around you continues as it always has. Yet deep within, something is different. A shift has occurred, like the quiet settling of the earth after an earthquake. It is not always loud, but it is undeniable. You may notice it in fleeting moments, in the way your breath feels lighter, in the sudden clarity of thought, in the whispers of synchronicities that arrive without explanation. These are not accidents. They are confirmations from the divine that you have crossed a threshold few have ever reached. During the days of trial, you may have felt broken. Sleepless nights pressed down upon you. Emotions surfaced in torrents, and confusion swirled around your heart like a storm. Old wounds reopened. Voices of doubt echoed louder than ever, and cycles you thought were finished returned one final time. You may have asked yourself, why am I here again? Why am I reliving what I already overcame? The answer was simple but sacred, because you were ready to end it forever. This was not punishment. It was purification. The universe does not repeat what you are not prepared to resolve. It resurfaced those shadows because it knew you had finally gathered the strength to release them. And release you did. Perhaps not perfectly, perhaps not without tears or hesitation, but release nonetheless. You faced the mirror of your past and chose to look within rather than run away. That choice, that single divine act of courage, was the true victory. Passing did not require perfection. It required persistence. Every time you resisted the urge to retreat into fear, every moment you chose to remain awake in the chaos, you declared to the universe, "I am ready." Now the evidence surrounds you. Watch closely. Numbers may repeat before your eyes. Dreams may carry messages more vivid than waking life, and conversations may feel as though heaven itself is speaking through another's lips. These are confirmations, divine signatures placed along your path. They say, yes, you passed. Yes, you are chosen. Yes, your new beginning has already begun. And though the old may still tug at you, though remnants of heaviness may linger, you have shifted. The storm did not destroy you. It transformed you. The universe has witnessed your endurance, and now it responds with alignment. The signs are here. The doors are opening. The chosen one is awakening. Chosen one, the signs you now witness are not random. They are sacred echoes, evidence that you have walked through the fire and emerged transformed. When the universe whispers through repeating numbers, when synchronicities weave themselves into your days, when dreams carry messages that feel more real than waking life, understand this. These are confirmations that the heavens have stamped your spirit with approval. They say, yes, you endured. Yes, you are prepared. Yes, you have stepped into a new vibration. This proof does not always come in grand revelations. Often it is subtle, arriving in the spaces between your breaths. Perhaps you notice a new lightness where once only heaviness lived. Perhaps the confusion that long clouded your mind has begun to clear, leaving behind a quiet clarity. Or maybe you sense a shift in your desires. The old habits, relationships, and distractions that once held power over you no longer feel aligned. You may not yet know what will replace them, but you feel within that the old chains are loosening. This emptiness is not loss. It is sacred space, the ground prepared for what is meant to come. Understand this, not all will feel the shift, for not all chose to face the storm. Many resisted, many clung to illusions, but you did not. You allowed the cycles to close, and in doing so, you created a doorway for the new. This is the ultimate proof that the person you were even a week ago is no longer the one standing here now. Something dissolved in the fire, the self that doubted too much, that carried burdens never meant to be carried, that settled for less than truth. That version of you has been left behind, in the ashes. What remains is a spirit more aligned, more awake, more alive. And though you may not yet see the fullness of what is to come, trust the evidence of the subtle signs. They are the language of the divine, reassuring you that the new path is already unfolding beneath your feet. The heaviness you felt was never meant to crush you. It was meant to crown you. The silence you endured was not abandonment. It was preparation. And now, chosen one, the proof surrounds you. You are no longer simply surviving the test. You are living as its result, walking as one who has been marked by endurance and chosen for more. Chosen one, now that you carry the proof within and around you, it is time to understand the deeper mystery of what you have endured. The trials you faced were not chaos without meaning, nor were they punishments sent to break you. They were divine examinations woven seamlessly into the fabric of your everyday life. The Creator does not send thunderbolts from the sky to test His children. Instead, He places questions inside the silence of ordinary moments. What looked like coincidence was sacred design. What felt like misfortune was hidden instruction. Think back carefully. The nights you lay awake with thoughts heavy upon your chest. That wasn't just restlessness. It was the test of trust. The closed doors. The opportunities that slipped away when you most needed them. They were not rejection, but the exam of faith. Would you still believe that what is withheld is as holy as what is given? when someone you loved turned cold, when silence echoed louder than words. The true question was never about their absence. It was about whether you would remember your worth when no one else affirmed it. Every seeming disappointment was a doorway disguised, asking, "Will you still trust me here?" For many, the test appeared as waiting. Days, weeks, or even years, where nothing seemed to move, where prayers felt unanswered and progress looked stalled. But waiting, chosen one, is one of heaven's sharpest instruments. It reveals the depth of faith. Anyone can believe for a moment, but can you believe for a season? Can you still prepare when nothing is in sight? Can you remain steady when time itself tempts you to surrender? That is the exam of patience. Others were tested through temptation, the pull of what you had already outgrown. Old habits whispered promises of comfort. Relationships you had released beckoned you back, and the shadows of your past begged for entrance once more. The true trial was never the appearance of temptation, but your response to it. Would you bow to what was familiar, or would you declare with your life that you deserve more? This is the hidden beauty of divine tests. They are rarely dramatic, rarely shouted from the heavens. Instead, they are whispered into the cracks of your daily living, waiting for the soul to recognize their weight. And you, chosen one, recognized. You may not have passed flawlessly. You may have stumbled, doubted, or even wept in frustration. Yet you endured. And that endurance is what the heavens honor, for the exam of the soul has never been about perfection. It has always been about persistence, about whether you will keep walking even when the way feels invisible. And because you did, the divine has declared you ready to step into more. Chosen one, having walked through the hidden exams of life, it is time to see the treasure hidden inside them. The storms were never meant to destroy you. They were designed to strip away what was false, to uncover the essence of who you truly are. Every wound, every silence, every closed door carried with it a divine lesson. Pain, though sharp and heavy, was never rejection. It was instruction. The shadows you feared were not curses but classrooms, preparing you for a strength that comfort could never teach. Think back to the moments that nearly broke you. The heartbreak that left you trembling was teaching you how deeply you can love and how sacred your heart truly is. The betrayal you endured revealed the necessity of boundaries and the power of discernment. The scarcity that frightened you taught you that abundance is not found in numbers, but in trust. Even the silence of heaven was not absence, but an invitation to listen deeper to the whispers within. Every hardship, chosen one, was a seed of wisdom being sown into your soul. This is why you cannot see endings as failure anymore. They were never loss. They were redirection. The rejection you faced was protection. The detours that delayed you were alignments guiding you toward paths you could not yet see. And though at the time it felt unbearable, now you begin to recognize that those very moments were the chisel carving you into who you were meant to be. What once appeared as punishment was, in truth, preparation. Do not carry shame for the struggle. Do not believe the lie that weakness disqualifies you. The divine never asked you for perfection, only persistence. Every time you stumbled yet rose again, you were passing. Every time you doubted but still chose to whisper a prayer, you were passing. Every tear shed in faith was counted as sacred. And now you stand as living proof that resilience is written into your very being. The trials have left marks upon you, yes, but those marks are not scars of defeat. They are the symbols of victory, the reminders that you endured, that you transformed, that you grew. They are not the weight you carry. They are the wings you now spread. The universe does not honor flawless journeys. It honors the courageous and chosen one. Your courage has been seen. What you once thought would break you has become the foundation upon which the next chapter will be built. Chosen one, the trials have shaped you, the lessons have refined you, and now you stand at the threshold of a new beginning. What was once only preparation has become invitation. The old cycles that once chained you have dissolved, and the weight that bent your back has been lifted. Yet what lies before you is not emptiness, but possibility. The divine has cleared the ground so that new seeds may be planted. And now the question rests not on survival, but on creation. What will you build with the life you have been entrusted? At first, stepping into this chapter may feel strange. Like walking into a room stripped of its old furniture, there is a hollowness, a quiet space where the familiar once lived. Do not mistake this stillness for loss. It is sacred pause, a breath between what was and what will be. In this silence, heaven is rearranging the details of your destiny. The doors that closed were never meant to confine you, but to redirect you. The people who walked away were never abandonment, but protection. The habits that lost their grip were not punishments, but freedom unfolding. You are no longer tethered to what once kept you small, but with freedom comes responsibility. You are not the same soul who entered the storm. That version of you, the one who doubted, the one who carried burdens not meant to be carried, the one who dimmed their light for the comfort of others, has been burned away in the fire of transformation. Now you are faced with the most divine question. Who will you choose to become in this new dawn? Will you continue to shrink for the sake of familiarity, or will you rise into the truth you now hold within? This chapter asks for your trust. Trust that emptiness is space for arrival. Trust that endings are openings in disguise. Trust that if something has been removed from your path, it is because it cannot travel with you into destiny. The divine is not punishing you. It is preparing you. And as you take your first steps forward, you may notice the subtle stirring of new energy. Desires you never felt before. Clarity where once there was only fog. And connections with souls who mirror your truth rather than your wounds. These are signs that your frequency is shifted. So walk carefully, chosen one, but not with fear, with awareness. Guard your spirit, speak life, and protect the vibration you fought so hard to carry. The universe has entrusted you with more because you have proven that you can endure. Now it asks only this, that you live not as who you were, but as who you truly are. The storm is behind you, and before you lies the wide open canvas of destiny. Chosen one, you now stand upon the edge of a story that has only just begun. The storms you endured were not your ending. They were your awakening. The silence you walked through was not abandonment, it was alignment. Every scar you carry, every tear that fell, every night you thought would swallow you whole has become proof of your endurance. And now the heavens declare over you, you passed the test. But hear me clearly, this passing is not permission to rest in comfort. It is a summons to rise, to create, to step boldly into the destiny written for your soul. Many are called, but few are willing to endure what you have endured. You were not chosen because you never fell, but because every time you did, you rose again. You were not selected for perfection, but for persistence. And now the divine entrusts you with more, greater responsibility, deeper wisdom, higher vision. You are being asked to carry light into places still cloaked in shadow, to walk as a beacon for others who are still lost in the storm. Your endurance has carved a strength within you that no trial can erase. This is why heaven has marked you. Do not underestimate the weight of this moment. Your words now carry power. Your thoughts carry shape. Your actions carry destiny. If you speak fear, it multiplies. If you speak faith, it manifests. Protect this vibration, for it is fragile, like a seed just breaking through the soil. If nurtured, it will grow into a mighty tree, but if neglected, it may wither. Guard your energy as treasure. Choose carefully what you plant with your tongue, what you entertain in your mind, and who you allow near your spirit. For the universe is listening more closely than ever before. And so the question rises, chosen one, what will you do with this new life you have been given? You endured not to return to ashes, but to rise into light. You passed not to rest in survival, but to create from abundance. The divine has prepared the canvas of your destiny, but the brush rests in your hands. Will you build in fear or in faith? Will you create from wounds or from wisdom? Will you step into this chapter small, or will you rise into the fullness of who you are? The answer belongs to you. The heavens have already spoken. You are marked. You are guided. You are chosen. The storm crowned you. The silence anointed you. The waiting prepared you. And now the path is open. Walk it with courage. Walk it with humility. Walk it with the unshakable knowing that you were not simply tested, you were trusted. The story of destiny begins now, and it begins with you.